Okay, moving on to the next bit. It's kind of a sweep, which is fairly rare for Satriani to do, but in this case he's actually done it. And it's just a sweep from 14 on the G to 13 on the B to 12 on the high E. So we've got... Then what we've got is like a series of muted kind of pick scrapes, if you like, up to notes on the high E. So then we're going to have... So what you're going to be doing is basically sort of palm muting the strings from the D through to the B, and then we're just going to play the notes on the high E string. So first of all, we're going to have 17 on the high E, then we're going to play 15, then 19, then 15, 17, then to finish up on 15. So that whole thing slow should sound like this. Okay, this next part of the solo is just going to be a repeated kind of lick using the high E string and the B. And we're going to start on the 12th fret on the high E, hammer on to 13, pull off to 12, pull off to 10, and then play 13 on the B. So we're going to have, then finishing up, going back to the high E string on the 10. So then we'll have... Okay, the way to get speed up with licks like this is basically to do with your picking. So we're going to start with a down pick on the first note on the 12th fret. Then we're going to down pick the 13th fret on the B, which will be the next note. And then we'll play an upstroke back to go to the high E string on the 10th fret. So we're going to have... So that's quite a good lick as well on its own. When you add the wah pedal in there, it kind of gives it a bit of dynamics as well, which sounds pretty cool. So we're just going to repeat that lick twice, and then the third time round we're just going to repeat 12, 13, 12, 10, and then we're going to do it again. So slow, it should sound like this. And then we're going to move down to the 5th fret on the high E, and then we're going to play, so 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, then we're going to play 8 on the B, then we're going to play 5 on the high E, and then bend up 8 on the B. So slow, we're going to have this. Okay, so for the next part, we're going to do a half bend on the 7th fret on the high E. Then we're going to play 5 on the high E, 8 on the B. Then we're going to bend it up, so we're going to have... Then we're going to go back to 5 on the high E, then play 8 and then 5 on the B. Then we're going to play 8 on the G, 5 on the B, then we're going to have the next part, which is going to be 8, pull off to 7, pull off to 5 on the G, then we're going to play 7 on the D, then we're going to hammer on from 5 to 7, back to 5 on the G to finish up. So we're going to... So that whole lick slow. Add a bit of wah in there. Okay, in the next part we've got half bend on the 4th fret on the G, which has then got a bit of a slow release on it, so... Then we're going to just play the 2nd fret on the G to finish up. And then possibly you just pretty much ping the low E string at any point, and then just dip the whammy bar as well. Then that will lead into the next bit. So let me just play that whole bit again so you can hear in context how every bit sounds. Right, now for the next part, we're going to move up to the 22nd fret on the high E string. We're just going to do sort of 3 full bends. So we're going to have one bend, which is just held for a bit longer than the other two, and then the other two are played just one after the other. So we're going to have. So you kind of dip the pitch slightly, and then just put it back to its original pitch again. And then we're going to have this lick, which is possibly my favourite lick out of the whole solo, which I use quite a lot in my own playing. And I'll play through it, then you can kind of hear what it sounds like, and then we'll break that down. So. Right, this lick's going to start with your first finger on the 19th fret on the B, and we're just literally going to be moving down those 2 strings until we get to the 10th fret. So we're going to have 19 on the B, then we're going to have 22 on the high E, then back to 19 on the B, with a slide from 19 to 17, so we've got. Then we're going to play 19 on the high E, then 17 slide to 15 on the B, then we're going to have 17 on high E, 15 slide to 12 on the B, then we're going to play 12 on the high E, then back to 12 on the B, then we're going to play 10 on the high E, and that's about as far as I'm going to take you so far. So. Okay, so the next bit's going to start on the 12th fret on the B. Then we're going to slide from 9 to 7 on a G, so we're going to have. Then we're going to move to the 10th fret on the B. Then we're going to play 7 on the D and then move down to 5. So far we've got. Then we're going to play this next part, and it's got kind of a bit of a rhythm to it. So. So we're going to start this from the 7th fret on the A, then play 5 on the D, and then put a little bit of a curl on it, and then at that point we'll have played the 7th fret after that. So that's going to be the riff. So we'll have 7 on the A, 5 with a little bend on the D, then we're going to play the 7th fret on the D twice, then we're going to pull off to 5 on the D. So we're going to have, and then we'll start the lick again from 7 on the A. So we'll have, and then to finish it off, we'll just play. So you play the 5th fret on the D twice, 7th fret on the D once, and then finish up with a pinch harmonic or whatever on the 5th fret on the D. So that whole lick, slow, should sound like this. Okay, now for the next part, it's just going to be some slides on the B and high E string. Our first finger is going to be playing across the 10th fret on the B and high E. So you're just going to play it 3 times. Then on the 3rd time, you play it and then slide up to the 12th fret. Then we're going to be playing that same position, sliding between the 5th and 3rd fret back to the 5th fret. Then play the open B in high E. So we're going to have. Okay, so now we're going to end up on the 17th fret on the high E for the last section of the solo. So let me just play through this slow for you and then we'll break it down. Okay, so we got a full bend on the 17th fret on the high E. Then when we get to the top of that bend, we're then going to pick it to let it down to its natural pitch, so. And then we'll pick it once again once it gets down to its natural pitch. Then we're going to have a half bend on the 19th fret. Then we'll let it down to its original pitch. Then we'll have 17 to 15, then 17 to 19, slide to 19, back to 17. Then we're going to move to the 16th fret on the G. Then we're going to play 16 on the B, 16 on the G, and then do a half bend on 16 on the B. So then a quick whole bend on the 14th fret on the G. So all in all, we're going to have this. Then we're going to go back up to the 19th fret with the half bend on the high E. Then we're going to come all the way down to the 7th fret on the low E. Then we're going to play 6 on the A, 7 on the low E. Then we're going to play 6 with a bend on the A. And then we're going to finish up on the 5th fret on the low E. So with the 5th fret on the low E, we're just going to do a quick whole bend if you can, and then just let it down to its natural pitch on the 5th fret. So that whole bit slow should go like this. Okay, and then we're going to play the half bend part on the 19th fret for the last time. Finishing up on the 17th fret. Then we're going to have a series of kind of squealed dive bombs, if you like. Now again, the record may be a little bit different, but live mainly what he does is just he'll pick an artificial harmonic on the G string, and then he'll just reach over and sort of like pull the bar down, and as he's doing that, as he's letting the bar back up, he just does another artificial harmonic on the G, so he'll kind of that kind of effect. So he just does that twice normal, and then 3 one after the other in succession. So okay, so now we're into the clean section after the solo. In actual fact, this is the same part we're playing now as what we played in the beginning of the song. So what I'll do is I'll just play it in the order that it appears on the actual song, and then I'll just break down, because there's a little part that changes in the end, which I'd like to concentrate on. So I'll just play the part that we've already done, so you can just see how many times to play it again, okay? Okay, so up to that point it's the same. And now the next bit I'll just play for you, and then we'll break it down. Okay, you'll probably notice that the first part of this is actually going back to the original melody again, and you just play through that once. So Okay, so up to that point it's the same. Then we've got this lick, which starts with barring on the 9th fret between the D and the G string. So, and then we're going to move to the onto the 8th fret on the low E, and then we're going to play 7 on the D, then 10 on the D. So we've got. Okay, so the whole thing should go. Okay, so that's the whole last section, and then we just play that 3 times. So we'll have. Okay, the bit that we just looked at is repeated 3 times. Then the last part is actually just a kind of chugging section, which is just going to play the E power chord on the 1, and then for 2, 3 and 4 we've just got palm muted open E string. So we're going to have. So we do it for that many times. So we do it 4 times round, and then the last chord is literally just played like that with all the strings. So the shape that we're going to be holding for that is first finger on 7th fret on the A, 9th fret on the D, and then 9th fret on the G, and then just going to play the open E, open B, and then open high E. And then you just let it ring out as long as possible. And that concludes circles.